welcome to it. It's a Monday evening and weekend. But before speaking about, can I give you a little bit of history? Football, as we know it, modern football began in 1869. But up until 1890, when a man by the name of William McCraw suggested ukuthi buka makunomuntu oqapha omunye noma oshaya omunye ngenqindi vele kuthiwa wo gents buyele kuyodlalwa ayikho right leyo nto. Let's introduce something that will change the game so that people behave better. There were no red cards in 1890. There were no yellow cards. And most importantly, there were no penalties. And now, through this man, William McCraw's suggestion to the IFAB, he said, hey, here's a suggestion. I suggest this thing called a penalty. In 1891, they kicked the first penalties. Penalties have evolved over the years. When Dr. Khumalo was playing in the US, they used to run up with the ball outside of the 18 area before they could take the penalty. There's some famous penalties around the world as well. You remember the most famous one, possibly, is Baggio at the 94 World Cup. Or bring it back home, Itumele Nkune. We're still trying to find that ball. All I got to say is, even now, 135 years later, since the first penalty was ever kicked, penalties are still breaking hearts. Because they did this weekend. 135 years later,
why?
You tell me. But it's still cruel, dog. It's still something that breaks our hearts. And we saw a lot of penalties this weekend.
Yeah, you know, kune stories zokutshela sona. When I was still playing at Chiefs, mighty penalty shootout. Awuthola amajita akhipha amabhutsa awufaka kule bhakede lamanzi bathi asi lapho.
Because abafuna ukuya lapho.
Hayi. Rudolph Sial, Welcome
to it. His name is Dr. Khumalo, the Calling Knockout. It was unprecedented. It was amazing. It was fantastic what we saw over the weekend. And we'll be getting to see as well. Did what happened over the weekend influence how you've been voting? But all of that's still coming up. Some exciting moments in the Calling Knockout this past weekend.
Yeah, defenders are scoring as well.
Hat-tricks.
Interesting. I mean, Fezile Gaba, what a hat-trick Friday night for Durban City. Brilliant, Mbegezeli Mbogazi. So for me, Ikalim Black Label, but of course the interesting one, big teams are out as well.
Some big teams are out.
But we'll talk about that later.
Koshab, I want you to touch on this as well. We showed the game live on SABC1 at the World Cup, the Under-20 World Cup, where we saw Amajita progress to the next round, beating USA.
Yeah, not surprised. Those boys have been making us proud. Champion with Kosafa and I'm a champion with Africa. And we wish them all the best against Colombia on Wednesday. But well done to Coach Raymond Mdaga. The future looks bright for Bafana Bafana.
Well, I can't wait. We're going to have those conversations. And there's news I'm hearing about Bafana Bafana and one of their star players not making the next two games, which will be live on SABC on Friday, the 10th, as well as the 14th, Mbombela. Those games at 6 o'clock, both live here. You have to make sure that you're wearing your jersey. We're filling those stadiums. But okay, it's not just the three of us. I have to introduce the rest of the team, the rest of the wise men. I'm talking about on the other side, the best when it comes to refereeing. The whole country wants to hear from him. Was it or was it not? Was it or was it not?
Today we're talking lottery. If a substituted player refuses to leave the lottery, there is an answer. He's on the way.
Victor Tungwane alongside Mazura Malefe will be giving us the news. Dr. Khumalo Chabo Sinong. It's going to be an exciting one. Victor Tungwane alongside Mazura Malefe will be giving us the news. Dr. Khumalo Chabo Sinong. It's going to be an exciting one. Stella uhlele ekhaya ube ingcenye yohlelo lethu. Aske sikhulume sixoxisane because sifuna ukuzwa ngawe. Ukuthi ucabangani ngamajita who are through to the next round of 16 at the Under-20 FIFA World Cup. Ubukela umdlalo nolandela wona ngicela ungakudluli nje ungakuphosi impela because it's going to be an exciting one. There's so much hope in and around this team. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Amajita? Mazala Malefe has got the news.
Well, after 7 appearances in all competitions this season for Ben Motshwari, ufeletswe ke mosebetsi. Amazulu President Sandile Zungu confirming to me earlier today that the player faced an internal hearing and subsequent to that, a decision was then taken that the contract will be terminated with immediate effect. It means Ntate Motshwari is a free agent now, but because of the rules of the NSL and the FIFA statutes around free agents outside the transfer window, it means Ben can only register for a club of his choosing if anybody comes for his services at the beginning of the following year, which is when the re-registration window does open. Unfortunately, Ben Motshwari, as I said, out of a job as it stands. We'll keep a close watch on his next movements. Orlando Pirates, former Orlando Pirates player, as well as Bidvest League winner in the years that have passed. Moving on to our next story now, Bafana. As I had mentioned earlier, a key player, Relebohile Mofokeng, not confirmed exactly the diagnosis of his injury, but he's out of the Bafana squad, and in comes Mdu Shabalala of Kaizer Chiefs. We did catch up with Coach Hugo Bruce at his press conference earlier today, explaining the dire situation, perhaps one could look at it, Bafana face after getting docked points, and where he could use Mdu if he does play a role in these two crucial qualities.
So our situation is a little bit changed because of the deduction of 3 points, but that's the only change. Even with 3 points ahead, we had to win our 2 last games to be mathematically sure to be qualified. So that is not a change for us. What qualities he has, I think, if you see the games of Chiefs, I think that Zuduzi is someone who has an action. He knows where to run when there is a space. For me, his best position is behind the striker. So if we use it, it will be on that position.
Now, who better to weigh in on this story other than the Doc himself, the legend of the game? Doc, relay out, Mdu in. Your thoughts?
I think it's a big blow for Bafana. We really needed him for these 2 games. Because he's one of the pillars in the national team. And also he is going to sacrifice a social factor within the squad because they've been camping together. You know, there's that continuation of the field. But also when he's sitting there benching, Lord allow position, you know, could feel with if I don't perform, really is there to play. But above that, the coach has alluded to the fact that Ndu is the right choice, and we'll go with that.
From one Kaizer Chiefs player to another, this news regarding Ramahlwe Mphahlele. Obviously, he had just left Amazulu on a free transfer, looking for a club now. Orbit College, I'm told, in advanced discussion. They're looking for some experience. Coach Thabo Sunong, could he be the man to try and rescue the situation here as they try to get more experienced players to form part of the squad in trying to rescue their status as it stands? Ramahlwe Mphahlele in advanced talks with Orbit College.
Yeah. No, Mazola, it could be a good inclusion because of, we all know Ramahlwe Mphahlele off the field, on the field, still looks good, helped Amazulu a lot to stay in the league and to be stable. So Orbit are lying 13th on the log and they've conceded 14 goals. So an experienced centre-back of Ramahlwe's caliber can come there, stabilize the young guys, help them to adapt to the Betway Premier League so that they can manage pressure. So I think it could be someone who can really add so much value into the Orbit team.
I'll tell you about someone else who thinks there's a player in his squad that can add value. It's Coach Phuthi Mohafe. I caught up with him over the weekend after that Carling knockout elimination against Durban City. He says Thabang can give Khuliso Mudau a run for his money. Here's Mohafe.
I think Mudau is 3 or 4 years older than Matuluri, and is a good competitor. And I think he will also give Mudau the best run for his money. So I've always reiterated that Matuluri is the second best right back we have in the country. So I will not mention after who is coming. It's behind who is coming. So I just saying that I believe is the best second right back the country has ever produced.
Now, more good news coming from CAF side of things. They've had their General Assembly out in the DRC earlier today. And the Federation, the mother body of African football, confirming a whopping 163 million rand profit. CAF's been struggling over the years with previous tenures of previous leaders in the CAF space. And since Dr. Patrice Motsepe come through with a number of sponsors, this is the news coming in just in time before the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco in December. We wait to see if there'll be an increase with prize monies as we have been accustomed to. But for more of these stories, AFCON build-up, Cup qualification, keep it locked on sabcsport.com.
The best right back in South African history. That's a big claim, that. Coach Puti, that's a very big claim. Thank you so much to Killer Amazulu Molefe. Really appreciate it there. Yeah, but I want to get involved now in the MVP. I am very sure of one person who's in that MVP. Oh, Shine Turunturinte Gastal Panzinganon and Kurmange Volo Volo. Here it is, your MVP.
I got him. Sizokubonisa. Sizokubonisa ukuthi kanti i-hat-trick yini ngoba nangu uGaba. Mawazi uGaba uzagaba i-TLP madoda haya.